Georgia Southern defeats South Carolina State 42-14. Kind of similar to what I thought should play out because at the halftime, I posted it on Twitter. I expect Georgia Southern to double up the points, and that's what they did. Doubled up the points, end up beating South Carolina State by 42. It was 21-7 at the half. I'm sorry. It was 21-7 at the half, and they ended up winning 42-14. Let's talk about this game. J.C. French, once again, 17 to 23, 211 yards, two touchdowns, zero interceptions. O.J. Arnold also ran for four carries for 42 yards. He was the leading rusher. Josh Dallas had an amazing catch over the middle and took it almost took it to the house. And the team looked pretty good offensively. Didn't have any problems offensively. Defensively, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But overall, I feel like this offense is running and moving the ball very well. Running the ball not like how we want it to be. Collectively we ran for like almost 150 plus yards or something like that. But the running game is not necessarily you. It's not utilized by a bell cow. Like we don't have like that one big back that is running things. I mean, you got to understand. Like back in the day, we had Adrian Peterson. We had some other guys that came in and ran the ball between that time. Since that we came to the FBS, we had some, other players that could run the ball very well. I remember when we had, what's his name? Wesley, not Wesley Kennedy. The other, I can't remember. Nevertheless, people like Jalen White, you want to see him running the ball efficiently, running at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 yards a carry. He only had 41 yards rushing on 13 carries. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I don't think, and I'm starting to believe that Georgia Southern does not have a run blocking offensive line. And that's okay, but you have to realize that I don't think we're going to be that type of team that runs the ball efficiently and effectively like we used to in years past or decades past. But nevertheless, you got a quarterback that can throw the ball very, very well. J.C. French, he's been putting the ball in places where nobody else can really get it. And it's been, a real good thing to see, very refreshing to see that you have a quarterback that can place the ball in areas where only the receiver can get it, or in places where you think like, oh my God, I can't believe you made that pass. Because he's been a very efficient passer. Hopefully that stays the way it needs to be, because we want to have that. The receiving side of the game, how about the tight end? Tyler Fromm, 5 catches for 35 yards, two really good catches. One was for a touchdown. And you love seeing the tight end get involved because we always talk about the receivers, the Dalen Cobbs of the world, the Derwin Burgesses, the LV Bunkley. You want to see those guys get, their touches. Even Dalen Cobb and Josh Dallas. Hell, look, almost, what's his name? Sam Kennison almost had a catch, but that was called back. So you got a lot of receivers that can get the ball, but when you have a tight end like a Tyler Fromm that can get open and find ways to hold on to the ball and make things happen after the catch, it's so refreshing. This is just another target that you have. And for him to get a touchdown today was absolutely great. O.J. Arnold also had a receiving touchdown, and everything was pretty good when it comes to the offense. You put up 42 points and don't turn over the ball. It's not much to really, complain about, to be honest. 42 points, didn't turn over the ball. What else could you ask for? Now, defensively, Eric Phoenix, even though that he didn't have the best game, he looked pretty good out there, throwing for 206, ran for 63. He did have the pick six, which, we love that Tracy Hill put up 6 points plus with the pick six. You just love to see that. Outside of Eric Phoenix, you also had Caden Hyde, which was a kid that exploded in the first half. He had like 9 catches for like 80 something yards in the first half. Second half, total shutdown. 10 catches for 81. Now, I say the defense, they didn't look that good in the beginning. I think there's some more ways to improve. The defense gave up a lot in the beginning. Like I said, Caden Hyde, it was either like almost 90 yards in the first quarter or something like that. I don't know. He was close to it. But nevertheless, he only had 1 catch after that. It was nothing. So the defense did what they could overall to stop this team. I mean, like I said, The defense was getting a bad rep ever since the Boise State game, but you see the improvement. You see what they did against Nevada. You see that, after giving up 56 points, we gave up 17 against Nevada, and we just gave up 14 against South Carolina State. So the defense is improving, is doing better. Even though the competition is getting a little less and less, the defense is still doing their job. DeAndre Duhart was the one that only got the 2 touchdowns for South Carolina State. But overall, what more could you ask for? We got a turnover. We made sure that nothing happened in the second half. The second half, they got that touchdown in the third quarter. But you really look at what they have on the stat sheet, not much happened. Not much happened. Even their running back, 15 carries for 26 yards. So I don't know what to take or how to take this game into going to Ole Miss. You're going in a very hostile environment against a top 5 team in the SEC. I don't know what we're going to do there. As of right now, initially, if we can keep it within 14 points, I think that's a moral victory. I know some people don't like to hear about moral victory, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be somewhat on a national stage. You would want to put your best foot forward. So we'll talk about that going down the road, but you got to like what you see here with Georgia Southern. I think Georgia Southern has shown that not only the Boise game was not necessarily a representation of what they really are, but going forward, you kind of see like, okay, this team is going to look good against opponents that are around their level or better or slightly better. The top tier guys, like when you have an Ashton Jeanty running the football, or when you have like an Ole Miss that you have to face, you're probably going to struggle. Who doesn't struggle against Ole Miss, a top 5 team? It's just going to happen. But nevertheless, around your talent level, around the Sun Belt, I think Georgia Southern's going to be just fine. When you see a Nevada game and you see a South Carolina State game, these are the games that you say, okay, this team has a really good chance of making noise in the Sun Belt this year. This is not a bad team, guys. Georgia Southern is not a bad team based on what I've seen in these last 3 games. They're fairly decent, somewhat solid. Will I say even a pretty good team? It's just not much to really, it's really not much to be, concerned about. I do wish the running game was a little bit better, absolutely. But I think the identity of Georgia Southern has changed to the point where we're not one of those smash mouth, run the ball, make things happen on the ground type of teams. Can we make it happen? Yes. I think that we can get a little bit better if the run plays are actually a little bit more creative. But we're not going to be running the ball like it was when we had a Shy Wirtz under center. Or hell, we might not be able to run the ball like it was when we had Kyle Van Treese under center. Because even then, we had Gerald Green and Jalen White, and those guys were still able to make some noise when they was running the ball. This year, you're not going to get it at that efficiency. You're not going to get that many yards on the ground, in my opinion, unless Ryan Applin change some things when it comes to actually, being creative when it comes to running the ball with the running backs. He's very creative when it's running the ball with the wide receivers. You see how the rushing with the running backs, on the receivers, you can get some yards with those guys if possible. But I don't think he's going to be that creative with the running backs. And in all, to be honest, if you got O.J. Arnold with 10.5 per carry and Badinga, which those is kind of late, 7.3 yards per carry, it's not that bad, but you want to get Jalen White to have those type of numbers. All in all, solid win, very good win, going up to Ole Miss. Then after that, I think we double back and play Georgia State, which I'm probably going to be at that game at Georgia State. I got to go see the Eagles play in Atlanta. I'm up here, so I'm definitely going to go see about that game. But overall, this is a solid win, guys. Really good win. It's not much to really, be concerned about. Outside of the running game, maybe the defense as well, but, it wasn't as horrible as it could be. The first part of this game, it could have been really worse. But let me know what y'all think. We're going to talk about Ole Miss in the upcoming podcast and upcoming throughout this week. And, it's going to be really interesting to see how that goes because right now, you already know what you're heading into going to Oxford, Mississippi. So let me know what y'all think about the win. Give me your thoughts and comments down below, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. and I will respond to any comment you guys have. All right, y'all. I'll see you in the next one. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.